Hello, welcome back. Miles Davis, the later Miles Davis, the 80s Miles Davis. Of course, when it comes to this period, this fusion, jazz, funk, soul jazz, everybody thinks of Bitches Brew. But there are other very, very interesting titles when it comes to Miles Davis in this period. And also, of course, when we talk about Miles Davis in this area, we also have to talk about Marcus Miller, the bassist, which really was, in my opinion, very important when it comes to these releases. And yeah, those releases are from Get On Down. I think it's a sub-label from Columbia. They did those 4 on colored, almost on crystal clear vinyl, 1 on yellow vinyl for obvious reasons. And they stated that those reissues are mastered from the original analog master tapes. Yeah, we know what that's worth today. So we just go through them, and I think those comparisons with the originals are quite interesting in this case. And we start with Miles Davis, You're Under Arrest. Those are all the reissues. Comes in a gatefold jacket. I'm quite sure that those paintings are from Miles Davis. We also get this, which is of course quite nice. And then it gets very Japanese, also with the obies. So I can't tell you much. Also the obi, every release comes with an obi in Japanese style, quite fancy, but of course not that informative. This release is originally from, let me have a look, I think 1980, sorry, 1980, sorry, I haven't found that here on the record. Yeah, and you have your funk, soul, jazz, rock bit, nice stuff. In a way, Mr. Davis goes Zorro here, for whatever reason. Yeah, the next one we talk about is Miles Davis, The Man with the Horn. This is 1981. Here we have the obi. I can show you because except one, all 3 of them are in crystal clear vinyl. And now the other 2, here's the other, also belongs to The Man with the Horn. And now we go a bit deeper into these releases because now we have records to compare with. So Decoy, also in a gatefold. This is of course the reissue. And here we are talking 1984. We have jazz, funk, fusion. We have, we have a mixture out of live and studio recordings. And this is Miles Davis' reaction to Rocket from Herbie Hancock, which was very radio friendly, and he tried something like that with this Decoy, but it got quite bad reviews, so it wasn't very well reviewed when it came out. But I have to say, this is a great album. I really, really do like it. It's very funky, grooving, a good one. And I compared it to this European first pressing. Here I show you the label. And the European pressing compared with this reissue kills it. Really, I have to say, the original, the first pressing, the European, mastered by Bob Ludwig, wow, it's more transparent, more punch, more dynamic, more everything. I got this copy for 16 euros plus shipping. So the absolute winner here is the original, the first pressing. And I have to say, if I only would have had this reissue, I'd say it's an okay, it's a decent release. It's not spectacular, but yeah, it sounds nice. Nice room, nice sound stage. But compared to this one, compared to this European first pressing mastered by Bob Ludwig, although probably digital too, it sounds way, way, way better. It's much louder, so this is of course important. I really have to reduce the loudness, but still way better, way more of everything. So if you are interested in this release, I'd suggest try and get one of those really cheaper original pressings, first pressings. Great stuff, and I think they are out there galore. There are enough of those, so great stuff. And then the fourth one, and the fourth one is really special to me. I've listened to this record 1 or 2 times. I've never had it on vinyl. Talking here, We Want Miles. Yet another live recording. This is the reissue on, yeah, of course, beautiful shiny yellow vinyl. Also comes with an obi, with an, yeah, if you can read Japanese, that's nice. Ah, by the way, all those reissues comes in this ridiculous, really ridiculous inner sleeves. I paid $99 plus shipping plus tax, so those sleeves, I have no words. Really, I have no words. Okay. I have here again the European first pressing. Double album, of course. Black vinyl, of course. Gatefold jacket. And yeah, again, much better. Not as much as it is with the decoy, but still the 18 euro European first pressing beats the reissue. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, why spend more money for a recording that doesn't sound as good as this one? So my recommendation with the We Want Miles and the decoy, look up a decent first pressing. Serves you, in my opinion, better. But again, I think it's quite important when you go into those records, clean them before you do your first listening. And one thing, especially when it comes to the We Want Miles, I'm quite sure we are talking early digitalization here, and those are not killer sounding records. It's not, it has a great dynamic range, it has a lot of punch, but it's not a killer sounding record per se. I think that's due to the time when this one came out in 1984. And so don't expect something like Waiting for Columbus. It's not this strong, but it's for sure stronger than the much more pricey much more pricey reissues. And side 1 with the Jean-Pierre, Backseat Betty, this is killer stuff. I think the music on this We Want Miles is heavily underrated. As I said at the beginning of this video, everybody talks about Bitches Brew, yeah, and I get it more and more. The older I get, the more I get it. But don't underestimate the music on this album. I do love it. It's one of my favorite Miles Davis albums, at least when it comes to the later period. Really, really strong stuff. I think those are 3 live recordings in Tokyo, New York, and Boston, I think. Yeah, Tokyo. I think Tokyo, New York, and Boston. 3 different live concerts. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, this is my take on the Miles Davis 80s reissues from this Columbia sub-label. I'd say they should have put much more love into it, not only when it comes to the inner sleeves. A little more care would have helped this release. But, you know, interesting. What would I have said without the comparison to the originals or the first pressing? Probably I would have said, yeah, it's okay, it's not spectacular, but if you like the music, this is a good choice, which is the case. It's don't get me wrong, we are not talking a terrible, oh my god, no. Decent. I'd say the reissues are a 7, and the decoy is an 8.5, and the We Want Miles is an 8 in that area. So they have a little scale here. Don't take those scales, of course, too serious. It's not a science we are doing here. Okay, that's it for our 80s Miles Davis. Thank you for your time. See you on the next one. Bye.